Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, in this segment, we are going to discuss the tourism sector and boosting tourism, and especially the program is set, which is set by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities to prepare for the winter season and also for the feast and the Christmas holidays. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Yehia Abdul Qader, Tourism Counselor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Samal, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. Well, Dr. Abdul Qader, how do you see the efforts exerted by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities and the programs that are set in order for the tourism in Egypt during the Christmas holidays and the New Year and also the start of the winter season?
Well, actually, this season, inshallah, winter one looks like it's a promising and a solid one due to the strategy of the Ministry of Tourism to promote locally, regionally, and internationally. You know, like the Minister of Tourism was in London shortly for attending the WTM, and the Director of the Tourism Promotion Authority was in Houston, Texas, attending as well the United States Tour Operators Association. That's why we have a solid season. And Mr. Adil Masri, you know, like Director of the Egypt Hotel and Restaurant Association, just outlined that five-star hotels in Cairo are enjoying 100% occupancy capacity for the hotels, as well as we have a good season for the resorts, as well the Red Sea, Sharm el-Sheikh, Qader. They enjoy 100%, 90% occupancy rate for international travel coming to Egypt.
Yes, so Dr. Abdul Qader, also, how do you evaluate the efforts exerted by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities to attract tourism to Egypt, and especially the initiatives and the campaigns that are launched by the ministry?
Well, you know, like the outcome and the conclusions, you know, like are reflected in the volume of inbound international flights to Egypt. For example, you know, like look from the Aswan and the Nile cruises, we have as well over 90% occupancy rates, you know, like for these luxurious accommodations. Just yesterday, Tapa Airport was opened for the first time since it was shut down 12 years ago, and start receiving, you know, like tour groups from Hungary. So this is, again, you know, like another addition to the capacity of Egypt and accessibility to various locations, you know, like that we nearly have like 30 international airports now in Egypt.
Yes.
And 2 weeks ago, you know, like in Qader, we witnessed the opening of an international water park, which is the largest one in Africa and Middle East as well. So all this, you know, like adds to the facility and capacity of Egypt and the international campaign.
Yes, so Dr. Abdul Qader, also despite that it's the winter season, we see that for example, Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh are full of tourists, and especially Hurghada, which receives 15,000 tourists per week. So what's your comment on this?
Well, you know, like the Egyptian resorts overlooking the Red Sea and the Red Sea mountain trails extending all the way from Dahab, Nuweiba, Taba, you know, like up to Marsa Alam, is receiving, you know, like on daily basis, you know, like great volumes of visitors. We have great volumes of visitors and tours from England, from France, from Italy, from Switzerland, from Russia, because they've been used to come like 2 or 3 times a year to these resorts because of the fair climate we have over there, the hospitality of the Egyptian people, the facilities that the hotels and resorts offer them, and the excellent room rates and tour rates as well. So all these factors combined, they make it an attractive location. And just last week, National Geographic declared the Grand Egyptian Museum to be like as a must-see heritage site when it's going to like closely, shortly open, inshallah, as well.
Yes, Dr. Abdul Qader, what is the importance of Egypt's participation in international tourism exhibitions that took place throughout the year? Also, the exhibitions during which Egypt shows its monuments in exhibitions in London, in Paris, in Germany, in several, and in the United States also, in several parts around the world.
Well, really, we are delighted that the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities are combined under one umbrella. That's why, we have a homogeneous, strategy, and the outcome is so positive for this winter season. At least there are 70 international, fairs that the Ministry of Tourism, attend and have great delegations. For example, in Houston, they were sponsoring, the formal dinner, official dinner for the United States Tour Operator Association. It's one of the largest in the world. And as well, we have, exhibitions of antiquities, that cover nearly Europe, Asia, and the United States and North America as well. And this generates a great tendency and desire for visitors when they watch it to come and visit the real, locations, the Saqqara Necropolis, Luxor, Aswan, Abu Simbel. And I have lots of friends, tour guides that have been, so busy, during this time of the year. And as well, we have the Holy Family itinerary to Egypt, that covering 25 locations from St. Catherine all the way to Minya and Asyut. So this has been a very good season for the strategy of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, and we see the results currently now.
Yes, also Dr. Abdul Qader, the state also and the Ministry of Tourism is inaugurating new resorts and also new museums that were inaugurated during the past year, the year 2022, as we are coming to the end of the year.
Yes, we opened at least 4 museums, one in Kafr Sheikh. We have already one that has been there in Sharm el-Sheikh, and there was one privately managed and operated at Qader. So this is one of the strategies of the Ministry of Tourism, not to develop, all the resorts and attractions by itself. We have a great work, undertaken currently now, at the Giza Necropolis. And Saqqara was shortly and closely, inshallah, the Grand Egyptian Museum will be opening with all its attractions at the Giza Plateau. We added the Sphinx Airport, which is going to be accessible to visitors from Europe and from North America, flying directly to Sphinx Airport, and then shortly, in a very short time, they will be visiting the Giza area with new facilities and hotel properties developed in the area to accommodate large volume of inbound travel to Egypt.
Yes, also Dr. Abdul Qader, during the Christmas season and the New Year, most of the schools, the international schools here in Egypt, have long holidays or vacations. So the family prefer to visit touristic places and travel here inside Egypt during the winter season. Could you give us also an idea about the domestic tourism in Egypt?
Well, really, at this time of the year, with the holidays, long holidays for schools, universities, and education institutions, families, like to go to Luxor, like to go to Aswan. Some they like to go to Fayoum, Ismailia, Minya, and others go to Alexandria because still it's a fair weather over there. And some Egyptian families love to spend their vacations and holidays and Christmas and New Year in Red Sea, trails, like the Hurghada, Sharm el-Sheikh, Sahel Hashish, Dahab, Nuweiba, and all these beautiful and attractive resorts that have outlining the Egyptian Red Sea coast.
Yes, Dr. Abdul Qader, can we say that the Christmas time or the New Year is the peak or the most important season for tourism in Egypt, or it starts from the early autumn?
Yes, definitely, because, like, as we know, currently in Europe, they have harsh winter, and
Yes.
with the shortage of energy and, like, the sub-zero, like, degrees, like they have. So a great number, like, of visitors like to come and spend 2 or 3 weeks in Egypt at this part of the year, especially with the offers, like, of cruises, of international airlines, the charter flights that fly directly from Europe, from the U.S. to Hurghada and Marsa Alam and Sharm el-Sheikh. So this is a good year for international travel to come to Egypt, escape, like the cold, and come, like in a warm location like in Egypt. And we have today, like, for example, in Cairo, we have 23 degrees. It should be like 26, 27 on the Red Sea coast, and it could be higher in like Luxor and Aswan. So this is a beautiful weather year-round.
Yes. So, Dr. Abdul Qader, also the development work.
خلاص فاضل تكة على آخر السكة لسه تكة خطوة جابت خطوة 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 وشوفوا رحنا لفين يلا يلا نكمل سكة مشينا